welcome back to my channel. For today's video, we are going to be doing my weight loss mistakes. If you are new here, my name is Alva. It is nice to YouTube meet you. And if you're coming back, then welcome back, you guys. I have another video talking about weight loss, and it is my weight loss mistakes. I went ahead and wrote down what are my weight loss mistakes. My number one thing was quick fixes. I feel like quick fixes, for me, it was one of the most toxic things as far as mentally me thinking that these things were going to make me lose weight. What falls under that? I feel like pills, diet pills fall under that. Waist slimmers, the corsets, waist trainers, that falls into it. I've tried all of these things, you guys. Nothing has worked for me other than proper nutrition and activity changing my life. Even teas, even though I do drink like the digestive teas, I don't even drink them that often anymore because my digestive system, it has gotten a lot better now and I don't really feel like I need them. But all of these things I feel like could be marketed by this and your goal of losing weight will happen, and I think that's pretty messed up because a lot of people advertise it and the companies a lot of times sell it as like false hope. None of these things will actually give you the proper keys, the proper knowledge to lose weight at a good, safe manner and actually see a difference in your body. If you put on a waist trainer and you take it off, your waist might look snatched for a good hour or so, and even if you do it daily, like, you will obviously, whenever you take it off, you'll see it. But as soon as you eat, because all it does is make you sweat and it can't really like move your bones, I don't think, like, unless you're using the actual ones with metal in them. But I don't want to get carried away. Don't spend your money on these things unless you know exactly what their purpose is for. Do, in my opinion, to really change your body is be active and dial in on your nutrition. That can mean a lot of things for a lot of people. As some of you guys know, I do the flexible dieting approach. I count my macros, I count my calories, I count my carbs, my protein, and my fats, and I lift weights and I do cardio, and I would consider myself now a pretty active person, and that is what I feel like has given me my results. These things, I feel like they're kind of fantasies that people sell, and I think they could be helpful. Sometimes I'll take like if I'm having a day where I'm abnormally hungry or I feel like I'm in a binging mood, I will take like the Skinny Mint gummies that will help kind of like keep your hunger at bay, or they'll give you a little bit of energy, so you're just have a little bit burst of energy. But I know exactly that I'm taking this and this is not going to make me magically lose weight. Next thing is thinking that I am special. So what do I mean by thinking I'm special? Is basically also equating to everyone is different. So I feel like for a long time I felt like I ate okay because I would be around people, my friends, that kind of ate the same way I did, and they wouldn't put on weight. So I would think, well, I'm just naturally thicker. I just naturally have more fat on me, like it's okay, I think I eat normal, blah 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 blah. And the truth is, everyone is different. That's not an excuse to not be able to reach your goal. Just because there's one person that can eat all the cheeseburgers and all the fries, everyone's different, and some people can handle those things. And if you're just someone that can't, you have to just kind of like really be honest with yourself and be like, okay, there's really no excuse for me, I'm just not wanting to actually put in the work. The mentality that I kind of went through for a long time was kind of like, oh, I just have a slow metabolism, I'm just naturally thicker, I just naturally hold on to fat more. And those things could possibly be very true. I think that I do hold on to fat probably more than some other people. It does take me maybe just a little bit more of work as far as my diet and my exercise to lose weight, but that doesn't mean that you can't lose weight. It doesn't mean that you can't lose fat. There's people who have lost hundreds and hundreds of pounds, so that's just kind of to give you guys an example. There is ways to lose weight. No matter your situation, you could get yourself to a healthy body weight if you're not at one. I feel like I would be very stubborn and be like, well, why could they eat like this but I can't? Kind of like a little kid, you know? And it comes to a point where you're just like, you have to be very mature about it and understand that you are not everyone else. And even though you may naturally be curvier and whatever it may be, you could achieve your goals regardless. My third tip is Outtraining a poor diet, thinking that you could outtrain a poor diet. That was my big one. I'd go to the gym, I'd do my cardio, I would do like my little like lunges and stuff. I had like my little daily routine, and then after I'd go to like Carl's Jr. and have a combo with a soda and some, you know, the huge that I would have. And although there's nothing wrong with that, I feel like every once in a while, because balance is important, I would do that too often. And on days that I would exercise, I feel like I felt like, well, I could eat a little bit more, or oh, I could reward myself. You could lose 400 calories in like 2 hours at the gym. You could lose 200 calories in an hour at the gym, and literally one can of soda is 140 calories, and it will take you 5 minutes at the most, for me at least, to eat that. There is some people who could just kind of coast by that. I would consider those people to be naturally like lean people who will have a harder time putting on weight. This more applies to people who are, I would say, in the middle spectrum, who could put on weight or who puts on weight very easily. My fourth tip, next thing, is the all or nothing approach. Basically depriving yourself way too much. I didn't go through this too much, but there was moments where I restricted myself too much, and I'm happy that I was able to this was during this time too, when I changed my lifestyle, to put it easier. In April, I feel like in the beginning I was very restrictive on myself. Even though I was counting my macros, I feel like I was too restrictive on myself as far as my food choices. Oh, I don't want to have anything like that came wrapped already, or everything has to be fresh. And don't get me wrong, there is people who do that type of diet and it works perfect for them, but for me it was too restrictive, and I feel like it's important to not be on a super restrictive diet. That may be very different for a lot of people. I'm glad I caught on and I stopped it before it became kind of like a more of an issue, or something that was more reoccurring. But you can't be too restrictive on yourself, because that's just going to cause you to want certain foods more and more and more. And a balanced lifestyle, a balanced approach to your eating, in my opinion, is the best. It doesn't have to be like, I'm only gonna eat lettuce, chicken, and I don't know, like vegetables. You could be like, okay, I'm gonna have a sandwich, I'm gonna have, I don't know, like, you know, a piece of chocolate. You could include all of these things in your diet and still reach your goals. Just because, let's say you have a slip up or you overeat one day, it doesn't mean it's like, oh, I throw the towel in and like I quit. Just because you have one slip up does not mean you have to quit. You could continue going. It's not a big deal. My fifth tip, or why do I keep saying tip? Oh, these are mistakes. My fifth mistake was genuinely not believing in myself. Again, going back to excuses, thinking, no, I'm just genetically disposed to be like this way, or this is just my body, or just coming up with excuses or trying to get quick fixes. You're basically not believing in yourself when you're doing that. You're not believing that you could actually lose weight, or, you know, get your body to how you want it to get with actual just hard work and commitment. All of these things, in my opinion, they're like cop-outs, just not really committing and really believing in yourself. You have to, at a point, just be like, okay, I'm going to do this. I'm going to believe in myself. I'm going to hold myself accountable. Therefore, on the days that I don't want to, on the days that I am not motivated, I'm still going to get up and do it. I mean, there's obviously, like, let's say you have a terrible cold and you have like the flu, take a day off, right? Like I said, again, it doesn't have to be an all or nothing approach, but you have to say, I'm gonna get this goal done, whether I have my ups and downs in there. I'm gonna get this goal done. Don't get me wrong, sometimes I think there's times in life when you're just not ready for something like weight loss, but you should make it a priority at the back of your head if it's something that you want to do. It is not our abilities that show what we truly are. It is our choices. When I heard Dumbledore, the very wise Dumbledore, say that, I was like, I love that quote. All right, my sixth mistake was being unhappy with the process. This is a really, really big one. I feel like this one that is overlooked, because I feel like a lot of the time for weight loss, people think, oh, well, it's not a happy process. Like, you're gonna have to be dieting, you're gonna have to be eating less. I know, although that is very true, you will be eating less, and technically you will be in a deficit. That does not mean you have to be unhappy. Find a type of training that you like. Find being active in forms that you actually enjoy, whether it be walking your dog for maybe an hour a day. Maybe try joining a sport, try going out. You could lift weights, you could do classes, boxing, jiu-jitsu. If you don't have the means to like do classes or go to the gym, go to a park, you know, in the day. If you're a girl, when you feel safer during the daytime, try and find a friend to go with you. Or at the end of the day, hey, you could work out in your house, you could work out in your living room, literally just dance, do Zumba. I remember being like, well, I can't really walk around my neighborhood because it's not very safe and I don't want to be walking out here by myself. So I remember I would like drive to the mall, park, and then walk around the mall, and I felt a lot better like that. Yeah, if you can. I remember even just going up and down the stairs in the apartment complex. I'd like call my sister and I would just walk up and down the stairs, and I don't regret doing any of that, even if I didn't lose weight like that, because I was still eating really bad. I don't regret doing any of that because it just showed me that there's so many ways that you could be active. My next mistake is that I would overeat healthy foods. It would be amazing if healthy foods didn't have calories. I would be eating fruit for days non-stop, but unfortunately we have calories. They exist and they count in healthy foods as well. Things like avocado, nuts, fruit, overall, your consciously what people would consider healthy foods, they all have calories, and you could overeat on those too. So I was that type of person that would get a really big fruit platter and be like, oh, healthy, right? And don't get me wrong, it is healthy and I love fruit, like love fruit. Not saying there's anything wrong with fruit, but at the end of the day, calories are calories, and even if you're eating healthy, you could be overeating and having too many calories, therefore not being able to lose weight. You still have to have moderation as far as your portion like in check, and make sure that you're not eating too much, or just kind of have a good idea of what would be too much of a serving and what is good for you. The next one is seeing food as good or bad. I feel like putting titles on food could actually be very toxic, and I get a lot of messages like, do you have cheat meals? Like, do you cheat? And I feel like even the association with cheating on your diet could kind of lead to overall not really having a good relationship with food. I feel like if you say, well, I can't have this because it's bad, eventually you're going to feel like you're restricting yourself, and that could cause you to end up binging, or not necessarily overeating, or having like a moment where you do overeat with your bad foods because, I don't know, you're having a cheat meal, you're treating yourself, and there's nothing wrong with that. But I feel like you could fit in like the cheap bad foods in without going in a surplus on a day-to-day basis. So how would you go about that is by counting your macros, and I know that can be very annoying, and if you don't want to do that, then try like by doing it like in a smaller portion. Like maybe try getting just one piece of chocolate a day, or if there's another type of food that you like, regardless of it being unhealthy, try and keep it in moderation to a little bit every other day or every day, and I think that could be very helpful. Next is skipping meals, thinking, oh well, I'll only eat twice today, therefore I have to lose weight. That could potentially work, and I would even maybe consider that, maybe close to even fasting, because if you like skip breakfast and then you move on to lunch and dinner. But the thing is that you could overeat in those 2 meals depending on what it is. I see this all the time with my husband, because Ruben will have really like 2 really big meals a day, and he'll maintain his weight, so he won't even like be necessarily in a weight loss. And the reason why he maintains his weight and he will only eat like twice a day while I eat like 5 times a day is because of the calorie count. Point blank, he'll have 2 really big, or not even big, calorically dense meals. So he'll have he still eats like kind of, you could say, unhealthy. He'll have fast food all the time, and those meals sometimes, like a full combo, could be like 1,200 to 1,400, even more calories. So that easily, like, even if you're only eating twice a day and you're, let's say, maybe someone who's 5'5", a girl like me or something, if you're having one meal that's like 1,200 and then your next meal is like another 1,200, that could easily put you in a bit of a surplus. I remember thinking like, oh, I didn't eat a lot today, I only ate once, like I only had Panda Express and then I had like, I don't know, maybe a meal at home that I had like a Coke on the side and like maybe homemade french fries, whatever, right? But I still technically would be in a surplus, or I'd be at the most maintenance. But I would think, well, I didn't eat a lot today. No, but you still had your calories in those meals. People won't really pay attention to that, but at the end of the day, your calories do matter. Lastly, a healthy relationship with food is so important. Food could be, for some people, kind of a, not a scary thing, but like comforting. There's stress eating. There's, I guess that falls into like kind of depressive eating. I would even say there's like binge eating, where you kind of eat when you're bored, or maybe not like in a serious case like that, but because binge eating is an eating disorder. But just like eating when you're bored, or eating when you're not hungry, eating just for cravings all the time, that all is part of your relationship with food. I feel like I had a very poor relationship with food. I feel like I did eat only when I was hungry, but then I would wait till I was really, really hungry again, eat again, and then I wouldn't stop when I was full. I would just continue eating and eating until everything, usually for the most part, on my plate was done. And things like that are things to be taken into consideration. You want to have a good relationship with food. You want to really value, in my opinion, your food. Trying to make nutritious choices for most of your meals, for most of the things that you're eating, while still allowing yourself some fun. Or maybe you have days where you get a lot of veggies in and other days where you don't. But overall, just having the appreciation for food. I find that actually taking the time out to kind of like not look at my phone and maybe not watch TV, even though I do it sometimes, but I try and have at least one meal a day where it's just me and my food, and I eat my food calmly. You also want to chew. I used to kind of sometimes be in a hurry and eat my food really fast, and I feel like that it kind of will delay your progress too sometimes. It's just really appreciating your food and taking the time out to eat your food in a calm manner, and okay, I'm full, okay, I'm hungry type of mentality, I think could be a good thing. Obviously, if you're fasting or something like that, it's different. But for the most part, I think that a healthy relationship with food is important, and really not just eating when you're bored or eating whenever you feel like it. I hope all of these things were helpful, you guys. I feel like these videos could be kind of a lot to take in at once, and I want to make more, maybe at a slower pace, maybe talking about 1 or 2, 3 things at a time. But these were just, I hope, helpful, and I tried to summarize them all as much as I could. And yeah, I hope that you guys found this video helpful. I hope that you guys enjoyed it. If you do, please give me a thumbs up. That would be so much appreciated. And that's pretty much all. This should be video 8 of Vlogmas for the year of 2017. If you guys are joining me here for that, thank you so much. If you liked the video and you like me so far, I am super flattered. Please join me here on YouTube. I will see you guys later. Thanks again so much for watching. Bye!